Start again? Okay. Here we go again. Welcome everybody to the 4th edition of the Genially webinar series, where we are discovering and exploring the Genially universe. If you've been with us in the past editions, in the past episodes, you have seen that we have covered different topics, including an overview of the platform. We have talked about interactivity, animation, and effective communication. But today we have a very special, fun topic that is going to give you goosebumps. We're gonna talk about gamification, and it's gonna be a really fun webinar. The team really wanted to celebrate Halloween with you, so we all dressed up in costumes. Happy Halloween. I'm going to introduce my friends here. So Ailey, she's our flamenco dancer today.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us.
And Brenna, she's our little devil today. She's new to Genially, so welcome, Brenna.
Thank you, happy to be here.
She's gonna be doing a game dynamics, so make sure you stick around until the end because it's gonna be a really, really fun webinar with prizes, surprises, just a lot of fun. My name is Conchi, and I'm gonna give you an overview on what gamification is, just like a little introduction. Okay, so one more thing. Thank you all, of course, and pay close attention to everything you see on the slides. Okay, on the Genially slides, because as I said, there's gonna be surprises. So I'm gonna move on to the presentation now. Thank you for being here. Let me share the screen with you all. Okay, I hope everybody can see my screen now. So as I said, we're covering gamification today. We're gonna talk about what is gamification, why should we gamify. We're gonna see why it is good to use gamification in any environment, like company, education, all sort of environments. How to use gamification, or I should say maybe how to use Genially to create effective gamification experiences. And there's gonna be a little tutorial portion as well, where we will go through how to achieve the wow effects in seconds, and we will give you advice on how to gamify effectively. There will also be a little trick for the more advanced users, so please stay with us. Okay, there's little things for everybody. If this is not enough, we're gonna be using a very special template as well today, a Halloween themed template. And if you would like to take the template home, what you need to do is to sign up. There's gonna be a type form, a link on the chat. So please go to the chat and make sure you sign up on that form, and we will send you the exclusive Halloween template. Nobody else is gonna have that template, just you guys for being here. And then it will be the time for questions. You can leave your questions on the chat, or you can leave your questions on social media with the hashtag #AskGenially. Okay, all those questions will be answered. Now, let's get started. So what is gamification? Gamification is a very simple concept, a very simple idea, but it's a groundbreaking idea. It's about having fun or finding the fun on everything we do. It doesn't matter how boring the task that we need to do might be. It's about finding the fun on everything. Gamification can be applied to any life situation, to any life circumstances. So for example, if you're part of a marketing team, you can use gamification to make sure you keep your clients and you get new ones. If you're on a corporate environment and you're part of a human resources team, you can use gamification to motivate your employees and motivate the teams. In education, teachers and educators can use gamification to engage their students and to maximize their learning. So let's say the key is motivation, and gamification is how we make it happen. Why should we use gamification? Why gamify? So sometimes it happens our team or our students need a little push to keep advancing. Sometimes we are the ones that need the little push to keep going. Sometimes we just feel we're not really good at doing something, so we kind of avoid it. So gamification can help in these sort of situations. By playing, we are able to become something else, become like super powerful beings that are able to, defeat a million zombies, maybe, survive a nuclear disaster, or stack boxes like crazy, like this little guy here. Here we go. Not only that, by playing, we feel energized, we feel encouraged to take action that maybe we wouldn't feel like that otherwise. Some other reasons why we should use gamification. With gamification, our audience members become the protagonists. They feel part of the process, bringing all their potential to the activity. With gamification, we increase concentration, making problem solving easier. So during playtime, perseverance is encouraged. So we're more likely to try again, even if we're failing or making mistakes. When we're playing, we're more likely to try again. This way, we achieve better results in real life. And gamification and playing encourage collaboration and participation. So, it's much easier to promote teamwork. You can use gamification. And who doesn't want a highly functioning team by their side? One that is motivated, focused, and capable of resolving even the more complex problems. I think everybody would like that. And now I'm going to show you quickly how you can use Genially to create gamify experiences. So if you're familiar with the platform, you already know Genially. It's very easy to use. It's very user friendly, and using Genially as a tool for gamification is simple as well. You just need to choose from one of the 60 templates that we have available under the gamification category, and start editing your template. We have three different or main areas within gamification. We have click to action templates, quizzes and games, and digital breakouts that are the more advanced. I'm going to show you an example. Okay, so a basic gamified experience can be a template like this, a click to action template, where we're just comparing two ideas, for example, or two answers to a problem or approach to a project. You can really compare pretty much anything you want. Something a little bit more advanced would be a quiz. We can create a quiz with just a few clicks on Genially. And you can captivate your audience by challenging their knowledge on a specific topic, like this Halloween quiz, for example. So these type of templates work really nicely as an icebreaker to introduce a topic or to make sure the information we've shown before was understood, or as a way of getting to know what our audience think about our topic before we begin our presentation. And digital breakouts or escape rooms are the most complex gamification template that we can find in Genially. Is a more complex format, but it's very easy to edit for you. Okay, so on your side is equally easy to edit and work on. So with this type of template, you are encouraging participation among your audience members. It doesn't matter if they're students or coworkers or potential clients. Everybody gets to participate and have fun. This breakout presents us with challenges and riddles to catch our attention, increasing motivation and leaving us excited to learn more about the topic it covers. So will you survive this journey back on time? And now I'm going to my colleague Brenna. She's gonna take over and she's gonna show you a little bit more of the platform. So we're all on different locations. So let me.
Perfect. Thank you, Conchi. Okay, I am going to share my screen now. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so this is the panel that we access once we log in to Genially. In past webinars, we've taken a look at this interface. We've spoken about interactivity and animation. If you missed those webinars in the past, you can go back and watch them on our YouTube channel. This time, today, we are going to edit an exclusive template. And this template, of course, going along with the Halloween theme, is only meant for the bravest of you. And also those of you who love exclusive content, of course. So let's go here. You can't find this template in the editor, but maybe we'll make a deal with you so that you can get it for yourselves. What do you think? Let's see if you can meet a challenge. Okay, so Conchi told you at the beginning to make sure you are paying attention to everything that we show. Have you been paying attention to everything that we've shown so far? Let's see. Your time has come. Now, in order to participate in this challenge, you have two options. You can either click the link that we are adding right now in the chat within YouTube, or you can go to menti.com. You can do that from your browser on your computer. You can do that from your smartphone if you have it in hand. And if you enter through menti.com, you're going to put the code 830855. Okay, so let's see. All right, one person. We'll wait for you guys to come in, and then I'll start. Okay, so you could either go in the link that is in the chat, or if you go in through menti.com, it's 830855. Okay. So once I start the quiz, you are only going to have 30 seconds to answer the question that appears. So don't delay. All right, now we have quite a few people, so I'm going to start the quiz. Remember, you only have 30 seconds to answer. Here we go. All right. How many pumpkins, like this one, have we hidden within the presentation that Conchi just showed us? Time is ticking. You only have 30 seconds. All right, 8 seconds left. Let's see. Time's up. All right, you guys are right. 13 pumpkins were hidden. Great job. All right, a deal is a deal, or a treat is a treat if we are following along with the Halloween theme. If you entered your email in the form that we sent at the beginning of the webinar in the chat, you are going to receive this exclusive template in your email over the next few days. We will put the link in the chat again in case you missed it when we first started. Remember, you're not going to be able to get this template any other way. So if you're watching us live and you haven't done it yet, what are you waiting for? This form that we're sending now is different from the one that you use to register for the webinar, and it's exclusively used for getting this template. So it's only valid for those of you who are sending in your information right now while you watch us live. So remember to enter the email address that you have registered to your Genially account in order to receive this exclusive template. Great job, guys. Okay, and now I am going to pass the baton over to Ailey, and she is going to continue. Oops, sorry.
Hello, guys. All right. I guess it's my turn. Let's start with the hands-on practical portion of today. I'm going to share my screen now. You seeing that all right? Okay, perfect. Let's enter in. So today we are going to be making a terrifyingly wonderful gamified click to action creation. Like I said, I'm going to focus on the hands-on part of using templates, and we're going to be looking at a way to get your audience into the headspace of your gamified activities. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start on our first page by replacing the man image on the left here. And replacing items is a really good idea because it allows you to conserve all of the animation and interactivity effects that were on the original image or element, okay? So as you can see here, I have some animation effects on this zombie male. It has a fade in entrance effect, and that's going to be applied to whatever I replace this image with. Let's see what our options are. Whenever I go to replace something, I can add something from my computer. I can add the URL for an image that I found online. If I have a premium plan, I'm able to add things from my brand, so I can make something more corporate or in accordance with my educational center, okay? And then we have this resources option, and this tends to be where people go the most. See, we have our library of images. We have Pixabay images, and these all have a search bar where you can look for what you want best. Your GIFs, scenes, and illustrations, all right? So we're gonna replace this man today with well, let's see what we can find. Let's see, a canvas. We're gonna replace him with a spray can. Okay, so I'm gonna choose this image. I'm gonna hit replace. And remember, guys, to click on this check sign. If you don't do so, it will be like you've never replaced this image and you'll have to do it again, okay? So I confirm. That is what I want there. And now I'm going to replace this other image in the same way, but this time I'm going to choose something from our illustrations category, and I'm going to go with the ghost, okay? Now you'll see when I choose the ghost, something kind of funky is happening here, which is that the cropping is off. We get this little cropping box. I can move it around. I can enlarge it. I'm going to have my whole ghost fit in there, okay? And once that's done, like I said, we confirm with the check mark. And the only problem left now is that my ghost is floating mysteriously above my spray can. To move it underneath, I'm going to be going to our layers. So I put an order option, and I'm going to move it, there we go, underneath the hand layer. Okay, so there we have our two images replaced, and we're going to move on to our text. So let's try something silly for Halloween. Tired of ghosts that pale in comparison to the real thing. And as you can see, I can't see this text very clearly at all. I'm going to put something behind it. This is a good trick in general for making your elements pop out. And I'm going to choose a shape. Okay, so in our resources, there's a shape tab. And I like this one, so I'm going to click on it. I can also drag it into the canvas. And now I am going to position it right where the text is going. Just like that. All right. Now that it's done, I'm going to change its color. I'm also going to change its opacity or transparency. Bring that down a little bit. Tends to make things look more finished. You can still see what's behind it, which I like. And now, as before, I'm going to move it back so that I can see the button and the text, which is what it's meant to highlight. Okay. And the orange and the pink, it doesn't really go. It's pro Halloween, the orange, but I think we're going to switch it out for white. Okay. I'm going to make my text white. Now I also want my button to match. So you'll see this button here is a grouped element. The skull on the inside is one element, and the round piece is another, and they're grouped, which you can see here. Now, even though they're grouped, I can edit each part individually, so I don't need to ungroup for this part. I'm going to make the outside of this button white, and the inside color is fine. It's already dark. Maybe I want to make it a little different. Okay, now it's gray. So that's all set for us there. And now I have this button just the way I want to have it. And what about backgrounds? What if I wanted to change the background we're looking at here? So here we have our text, our images, our resources. I'm sure you guys are familiar with all of these tabs. If you're not, please check them out. You might be surprised by what you find, okay? In the background, for those of you who don't know, there are two different kinds of backgrounds available in Genially. There's the canvas background that everyone knows about, and that's what you can view right within this square, wherever these corners are marked for you, and that will change depending on the dimensions of your canvas, okay? And the base background is what goes all the way through your creation. So if I had nothing here on the canvas, I would see the same image all the way around and behind. But if I had something here, I'll show you an example. So say I want this as my background for my canvas. I'm going to see this here in view mode, and then I'm going to have whatever I had as my base around it in the background. Now we have lots of different options when choosing backgrounds. You can choose a solid color. You can choose from the library, which is what we're doing here. I'm trying several, okay? But ultimately, I think we're going to leave the background as is. Let's go back. All right, now we're back to how we were. And let's move on to the second page. This first page is set up just the way we want it. All right, for moving around pages, I have two options. I can use these arrows down here, which is great for a quick change. I can also use this tab out here. This is really nice when you have a lot of pages and you want to be able to see clearly everything that's going on in a creation. So if I have a dossier that is 40 pages long, I might use this to scroll through my pages on the side. Okay, we're on page 2. So now we could copy and paste our images of the ghost and spray can from the first page, or duplicate the first page. Okay, if I wanted to do that, I would go here, and this is the duplicate button. Of course, I don't want this copy, so I'm going to delete it. All right. But the reason I'm not going to do either of those things is it actually makes more sense to just replace the images from page 2. So this guy here and this woman. And why is that? Well, basically, the images on the second page are already set up with the appropriate animation effects for what we want to happen here. And if you remember from the other, see, this has an exit effect, and the first page had an entrance effect. And this way, we don't need to modify anything animation-wise. So when I replace, I maintain all of the animation effects that I have in the original image. So again, we're going to replace. This time I know exactly what I'm looking for. I want my spray can. I can even type in the search here, spray. Replace that guy. Remember, click on the check. Same thing for this woman here. Actually, we might even skip ahead to show you an easier way to do navigating around multiple elements. But okay, I'm going to find my ghost again. Replaced. Moving that cropped box around because this element is a slightly different size, okay? And giving it the okay. And now that we have this here, let's try something different in terms of reordering our layers. Before, I used this option up here to move the ghost back, okay? But this time I'm going to open up design mode, which is a really great option for those of you who are looking to navigate around a lot of layers. So I clicked on the settings cog up there, designer mode, turning it on, and this basically opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Within our free plans, you have access to this first tab, which is called Element. You can change the width, the height, the position, the exact position of an element on the canvas, as well as the rotation. We also have this premium feature, which for any of you who are familiar with sort of more standard design software that's a lot more complex, you're maybe used to working with layers, and we have that option actually for you in Genially. So I can rename my layers. I'm going to call this right bolt. I go through a few of these guys. All right, here found my ghost. Here's my left bolt. Don't worry, I'm not going to do these all, okay? But I want you guys to get a good idea of exactly how this works. That's my spray can. And this is my text box. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. What I want you to see here is I can change the order of where things go. So I want my ghost to be on top of everything versus behind everything. I'm going to move it back. There we go. Now it's where I want it to be. And now I want to work on the text. And to get to the text, you can see I have a lot of layers in the way. What I can do is play with this eye here, which allows me to hide things from view. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to hide from view? How about these bolts, the spray can, and my ghost, okay? Now I have full access to the text. One thing that's really important to know is that when I end up viewing my creation, even though these things are hidden to me now in editing mode, they're going to appear, okay? So if you share this with someone, they're still going to see all of the elements. It's just a nice way for you to edit. So let's see what we do now. Let's work on this text next, all right? We're gonna set it up. I want it to say, don't worry. I'd like it to be like before. I want all of these texts on the black background in white. And I can change the format, italics, underlining, bold, sort of your standard changes. And I can also do something that some people like to do to make these words stand out a little bit more, and that's to highlight. Okay, so I could highlight these with, say, that same pink, and now it sort of creates a natural box behind the word. I'm going to take that away, though, because I think in this case we can see it just fine. And another option for you, of course, would be to do what we did before with these shapes. I could stick a square or a rectangle behind there and make it transparent so that it matches the first page. All right, so there we have our first text in place. And we're going to change our most important part, really. At Technagos, we've got the solution. I'm going to adjust the size a little bit because, as you can see, the template had a much shorter text. So I can do that multiple ways. I can move this box around so that the text adjusts itself. In this case, I can see that that's probably not enough to make this fit right. So I'm going to change the size of the text. I have preset options, and then I can also type in the number I want. Let's try this out at 65. Okay, perfect. So I have this text in place, and I want the smaller one to say, admire the results. We're going to center our skull button. It's actually pretty well placed. If I wanted to check that again, I would go here, okay, to our position option, and I could put it directly in the middle. It's something I like to do. It's sort of a fun trick. Put it directly in the middle of my creation, and then I'm dragging it down using my keyboard's arrow buttons. And I'm going to change the color of my buttons to be as they were on the last page. I think it looks quite a bit nicer. So I'm going to choose pink on the outside. And how about something that pops a little bit more, white on the inside. And I'm going to do the same thing here. It's giving me the inside piece. And the outside piece, we're going to make it pink. Let's see, what do we have left? So we've changed our buttons. I want something to happen when we click on this skull button. So this button is already set up to link us back to the first page, thanks to the template. And this button is made for us to put something, sort of the wow effect inside of it. Okay, so I'm going to insert something in a window. I clicked on that interactivity hand, and I'm going to insert an image. So here I have my insert image option. I can change the size of my window to better fit whatever I'm adding. I tend to choose medium windows, but of course it depends on how large your content is. I'm going to click here, see what my computer has. I have my pink ghost ready. All right. And there it is. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. How about like that? All right. We're going to save it. So now when somebody clicks on that button, we're going to have our ghost image appear. And last but not least, oh, this is really cool, guys. I want to show you audio. So some people ask about audio. You want to know how to add audio to your creations, how to have audio playing without us seeing an audio player. As you can see here, I see the player, but people aren't going to see it when they view my creation. And here's why. When I click on an audio, I can go to settings, okay? And this has it put on autoplay. It's not going to loop, though I could make it loop. And I have on invisible show player. So I've hidden the player, which means that what we're seeing here is not going to show up on the final. And I'd like to replace this audio file with one that's ghostly instead of an evil laugh, which is what I had there right now. And basically we're set, okay? Last thing is we can even choose when we want this audio to start playing. So if I had an audio I'd recorded myself, but at the beginning there was something that wasn't that relevant, maybe I would start it a minute in, okay? That's what I would set up here. All right, guys, so I think we're ready to go. Let's see our first page. And let's try it out. Ready? A preview. So far, so good. Tired of ghosts that pale in comparison to the real thing? Don't worry. All right. Ta-da! Wonderful. So that was the practical portion of our webinar, and I'm going to see how we're doing on the questions. See if there are any questions left to be answered. I'm not seeing any yet. I'm going to read through this real fast, guys, and if I don't see any questions, we're going to hand it off to Brenna, who's going to take it over from here. All right. Let's see. No questions. All right, Brenna, you're up. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so she can pop in here.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. 1 second. It's all yours.
Perfect. Okay. Sharing my screen again. All right, guys, well, we hope that you've enjoyed this webinar so far. We've seen how Genially can help us achieve a team that's motivated, focused, effective, and able to resolve even the most complicated problems using collaboration, thanks to games and gamification. Now, as always, we are going to have a draw for one pro plan among the list of everyone who signed up for this webinar. And we are going to get in touch with the lucky winner via email. So good luck in our draw. Now, if you don't win, don't worry. We will be sending everyone a discount code so that you can add gamification to your daily life and activities. Plus, remember that if you've attended this webinar in real time and you've left us your email with the link that we passed you, you'll receive the exclusive template that we edited today. And we're going to leave the link for you in the chat once again, just in case you're here, but you forgot to do it or you didn't see it before. All right, so we've reached the end, and we've answered any questions. Of course, continue to write the questions if you have them. We also encourage you to ask them on our social media channels. You can use the hashtag #AskGenially. Okay, so let me stop sharing. We will put our videos back on. And thank you so much for joining us. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. And remember to use Genially to give them something to pumpkin about.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.